If you are having PR or citizenship of Canada and you want to call your parents from outside Canada, then what is the better visa to apply? Is it super visa or visitor visa? I recently made a video on this particular topic and I got so many calls after that, and people were like, we have applied for visitor visa for our parents even after having the PR because we were really worried about our parents getting their super visa. So they applied for visitor visa considering that visitor visa is a safer application. But as per my observation, super visa is a far better application compared to a visitor visa application. Similarly, if you are inside Canada on study visa and you are doing a 2-year of master's degree, you are eligible to get spouse open work permit of your spouse. In that case as well, I have seen many people applying for visitor visa rather than applying for spouse open work permit, which is a stronger application. So here I am comparing visitor visa with the other applications which can be taken for the family members, especially your spouse and your parents. So in this particular video, we are comparing these applications for your clarity, and I am going to share my opinion on which visa you should apply for your spouse, for your kids, and for your parents. In case you are having the PR, in case you are having the study visa, or in case you are having the work permit of Canada. So to understand the right and the best visa category for your family, watch this video till then. Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel GlobeX Immigration. This is Jitender Grover. In this video, I am sharing my opinion on which visa category is the best for your family. Starting from super visa versus visitor visa, I have seen many people applying for visitor visa rather than super visa. I have recently handled many super visa applications where of course applicants were eligible to get super visa and they got their super visa as well. But initially during the conversations, during the consultations, I understood that people are not really aware of super visa. Even if they are aware of super visa, they are not confident of getting super visa, considering that it is kind of a complex visa and their parents may not get super visa, and they are more convenient, more comfortable to go with visitor visa, which should not be the case if you are eligible to get super visa. We applied for the super visas and we have received super visas as well for many applicants, and this is the right best category for your parents. You should go for it if you are having the PR or citizenship of Canada. Only one major requirement is there which will make you eligible to get super visa after getting your PR or citizenship, that is to complete the income requirement in Canada as a host. So if you are meeting the income requirement, in that case it is quite easy for you to get super visa. It should not be a problem for you. You can easily meet all the other requirements. The financial requirements are quite easy. Those are quite similar to visitor visa. Your parents can do medical as well, and we can help you in taking the insurance. It is also not a problem. So everything can be done quite easily, and it is not a big cost on you as well. Also, in this entire process, your parents get the super visa of Canada. You don't require to get the visitor visa and keep on extending it again and again, or your parents don't require to leave Canada for continuous 5 years. They can stay with you for 5 years, and it is multiple entry visa. They can enter in Canada anytime. It's not a problem at all. So it removes the restriction of visitor visa to stay in Canada just for 6 months, and your parents can stay for 5 years in Canada. Also, you require similar kind of things to get super visa as well, and it is a far better and stronger visa category for you. Why super visa is a far stronger category compared to visitor visa? The reason for that is you are meeting the eligibility criteria, you are sharing all the documents, you are completing all the requirements, you are writing a good SOP. After that, it is not a request, it has some kind of authority. So it has far more acceptance rate compared to a visitor visa. Although if you are applying for the visitor visa of parents, in that case, yes, the visa acceptance rate is really good, but still people get refusal of visitor visa of the parents. So although visitor visa of parents is a strong visa category, I am not denying that their acceptance rate is really high, but still super visa is far stronger and better visa category. Super visa will be refused only if you are not attaching the right documents, correct invitation letter, and you are not meeting the eligibility criteria. Then only super visa will be refused. Otherwise, most probably it is going to be accepted if you are not making any mistake in the super visa application. So always go for super visa application if you are meeting the eligibility. Do not go for visitor visa application. Many consultants are there who are creating this misconception that if you are going for visitor visa, it is for a shorter duration, there is high probability of getting visa. No, if you are going for parents, if you are already having the PR of Canada, citizenship of Canada, and if you are meeting the income requirement, in that case always go for super visa only rather than visitor visa. So that was the first visa category. Second visa category is spouse upon work permit. So there are many people, even though they are eligible, they get the refusal of spouse upon work permit and they try to go for visitor visa. And many people are just afraid of applying for spouse upon work permit and they just go for visitor visa. They are misguided by many consultants in the market and they apply for visitor visa, which is not the right visa category for spouse. If spouse applies for visitor visa, in that case refusal rate is really high. In any scenario, if spouse is not eligible to get spouse upon work permit, then the discussion is over. Then go for any visa category you want. You can apply for visitor visa, it's not a problem. But problem happens when you are eligible to get spouse upon work permit and still you apply for visitor visa, that becomes a problem. Visitor visa is just a request to enter in Canada. It is up to visa officer whether they accept that request or not. Even after having everything right, your funds are good, your establishment is good, you are having a good job in your home country, everything is good, your prospect of returning home are good, everything is, your reason is really strong that you want to meet your husband, still there is high refusal rate if the spouse is applying for visitor visa of Canada, because visa officer is concerned about your reason of travel and visa officer is concerned whether you will leave Canada or not. So that becomes a really big problem in visitor visa application if you are a spouse of study permit holder or work permit holder in Canada. So always try to go for spouse upon work permit rather than applying for visitor visa if you are eligible to apply for spouse upon work permit. Even if it requires you to take 2, 3, 4, 5 applications to get your spouse visa done, still go for spouse visa rather than converting your application from spouse visa to a visitor visa. It is not recommended at all. There are many people who think that initially we will try to get visitor visa, we will reach Canada, then we will apply for spouse visa. How this entire process is giving you benefit, I am unable to understand, because ultimately again from inside Canada as well, you will require to show same level of funds and you will require to prove all kind of things again. You will require to show your reason as well why you are applying for spouse visa. Then you need to show your prospect of returning home, your career and everything, your financial capacity, everything will require same. You require to show everything the way you need to apply for a normal spouse visa application. So getting the visitor visa does not impact spouse upon work permit, does not give you any kind of benefit in spouse upon work permit. But if you get refusal, then that will definitely make negative impact on the application of your spouse upon work permit whenever you are going to apply for it in future. So it is never recommended to apply for visitor visa if you are eligible to apply for spouse upon work permit. Eligibility wise, if your husband or wife who is in Canada is on 2 years of master degree, you are eligible for spouse upon work permit. And if your spouse is applying for PG work permit, that time as well you can apply for spouse upon work permit. If your spouse already has received the work permit, then also you are eligible to apply for spouse upon work permit. But on work permit, the requirement is your spouse in Canada should be on tier 0 job, tier 1 job, any job profile, or tier 2 or 3 job. There are particular job profiles which are given. I will share the link of these job profiles in the description as well. You can check who is eligible to apply for spouse upon work permit. If your spouse is applying for PG work permit or already has received PG work permit, then in that case what kind of job profiles are eligible to apply for spouse upon work permit. So to conclude everything, whenever you are eligible to apply for any other visa category except visitor visa, that is always a stronger visa category. Visitor visa should be must be your last choice if nothing else is left. If you are eligible to get any other visa, it has far more acceptance rate compared to a visitor visa. Visitor visa has the lowest acceptance rate for any developed country. It should be your last option, it should not be your first option. And if you are eligible for any other visa category which suits you, as per that you should go for that particular visa. Especially for spouse, you should go for spouse upon work permit, and for the parents of permanent residents of Canada, you must go for super visa of Canada. I am sharing the link of the video in which everything related to super visa is explained. After watching that video, everything about super visa will be clear to you. Also, I am sharing the link of what kind of funds requirement are there to get your spouse upon work permit of Canada, and both these videos are going to give you complete clarity on these 2 visa applications. I hope video is informative. If so, like, subscribe and share the video as much as possible. See you in next video.